Alright. Welcome to yet another installment of Cliftone's Corner. Of course, I'm your host, your main man, the only man here. I am Cliftone, and I'm hoping that audio in this one sounds way better than any other podcast that I've done because I actually got a mic now. So, we're hoping it's going to change a lot of things and bring a bit higher quality to the show. But here we are, episode 2. I know last time I touched on kind of some of everything, but this time I want to focus on just one thing. The one thing that is Survivor. And this season, Island of the Idols. It's been something else, especially the past few episodes. I feel like I've finally hit a point where I actually want to talk about it and not feel icky. This past week's episode was kind of awesome. I mean, I'm still trying to watch the show without thinking about all the Dan mess that happened for 2 whole episodes prior. Kind of 3 if you really think about it. Was the double before this week or was it a week before this week? I'm not sure, but either way, it's been a lot of time spent dwelling on this whole Dan situation. So that's why I'm just gonna skim over it really quickly and head to episode before last. I just want to say that coming into the tribal from the week prior, my emotions were pretty high still, because I really expected things to go in a completely different direction. But the thing was that we learned there was a storm. I mean, it did kind of start raining at tribal, but there was a storm, and the next morning these people looked wrecked. I mean, completely just destroyed. I mean, this storm took a lot out of these people emotionally. I'm sure it did physically, and to be just soaked for hours and hours on end is a reason why I will never ever do Survivor. But I, as the viewer that I am, I was really hoping that after this tribal council, mind you, Aaron and Missy went. By now I'm pretty sure I should not be spoiling anything. You should be caught up. This is not my fault, though I apologize. But Aaron and Missy went, and Dan is still in this game. I don't understand with what happened, all of the disgustingness of that episode. I'm not sure what went left. Nothing went right in my opinion. I honestly feel like Dan should not be on the show any longer, especially with the way that Kelly felt about the situation. And after all the dust settled, I really feel like, honestly, Kelly was the only truth teller in the situation. I feel like I don't mean to judge. I don't want to step on any toes, and actually I'm going to back away from this slowly. I would just like to say I hope that future things like this don't happen in the game, for one, but if they do, I really hope that they are handled much better than how this was handled. I not really looked forward to, but I really hoped that there was going to be some type of statement from Kelly and things like that. But no, she was forced to keep quiet at the tribal. She couldn't say anything, though she was being spoken about and this and the third. And that's one rule I really hate at tribal, especially on a topic as huge as this, as major as this. And she's forced to sit there in silence. Like, no, that's bullshit. I will call, like I see it, that is bullshit. And I hope to never see that again in Survivor. I hope to never see a situation like this ever again in Survivor. I'm just such at a loss for words. But like I said, Aaron and Missy, they went home. And I just want to move past it all. So let's put it in the past. And let's move on to this week's episode. And this week's episode was one I really enjoyed, putting all the Dan stuff to the back seat of my mind, like I said prior to. I tried to go into this without thinking about any of that, but you know, it's really hard not to, because again, he is still in the game. I feel like he should not be, but hey, it's nothing I can do about that as a viewer. I just have to continue to watch and see what happens from there. But in this episode, you know what, I really felt like this is Christmas season. Honestly, I feel like best case scenario would be she makes it to final 3. Some way, somehow, she wins the game. And everybody's like, what the fuck happened just now? Where did she come from? But honestly, I feel like Karishma is the ultimate goal. This episode's tribal proves that, but we will get to that later on. Oh, amazing stuff. But again, later on. But the episode starts off, basically everyone still wants to get Karishma out, how she's still in this game. I honestly have no idea in hell. She's been doing an amazing job as far as I'm concerned. And I want to see so much more from her. We are in the final, this is final 8, 9. And is it? Shit. This game is going fast. I mean, I understand there's like, 3 more episodes into the finale, 2 episodes into the finale, but still, I feel like this season went by pretty fast, and I feel like it's actually just starting. I felt like the double episode, unfortunately, with what it all contained, I wish that it didn't, but I really felt like that was the start of the season, and from there, it's just been going. I mean, it's been going from the beginning, but with what happened in the beginning of the game, with all the losses for Vokai? I don't remember, because all I remember now is Numawaku, so it's kind of hard to go back and backtrack. I know it hasn't been that long, but it's felt like ages, especially after the past few episodes. But this Karishma Goat story, I am really loving it. I want her to go as far as possible in this game. I mean, her time has been up in my opinion, but honestly, do the damn thing, girl. Do you, boo. You are going to make it there. I see her going so far. I say at a minimum, Karishma will make it to Final 5. That's if she continues to play correctly, especially after what happened in this episode. If she continues to play correctly, that girl's going to be amazing. This week, they finally decided to bring back Island of the Idols. I mean, with a season named after something, you would think it would happen every single episode until that theme or twist or whatever the case may be had ended. But no, they just not did it for 2 episodes, 3 episodes. And a lot of people on Twitter were actually wondering, hey, you guys, is this still a thing? Is IOI still happening? We didn't know until this week. And then once I saw the boat coming in, I was like, oh, it's happening. Here we go. And the castaways were tasked with picking who went to Island of the Idols, and it ended up being Lauren, which Karishma seemed pretty ticked about because it really wasn't a vote thing. Lauren was like, oh, I'm going. Yeah, it's me. I'm going. Yeah, okay, go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, I guess. But Lauren goes, and she is tasked with bidding on who she thinks will win the immunity challenge. And I do kind of like this idea, because at this point in the game, it really is, like Rob said, a test of knowing your tribe mates, knowing what you can get them to do or what they will do in this situation or that situation. So that's pretty awesome. And with Lauren taking her time a bit, Rob gave her the chance to pick 2 people. So she picked the vegan and the one person that she knew would not be dropping out of the competition anyways. And then after leaving Island of the Idols, she went, and boy, did she do some convincing. She confided in Tommy, and she got Tommy's help with doing pretty much her dirty work. And I feel like, honestly, Lauren should have, if she wanted to get people to drop out of this, she should have done it herself. Mainly because it's like, girl, show us what you got. Okay, Tommy's sitting here. Of course, Tommy's a very likable guy. I feel like a lot of people on the tribe like Tommy. And I feel like that's something Lauren used. Oh, I'm realizing. That is something Lauren used to her advantage to get other people to sit out of the challenge. And of course, she was like, well, yeah, I'm sitting out. I'm about to be good. As long as one of these two people win, I have my immunity idol. I'm safe at tribal. I don't care what happens. I'm going to enjoy breakfast. You guys should definitely join me. And that is that. And I feel like that's kind of exactly what happened, all except for Karishma. And as we learned in the challenge, Karishma's thing has been always go for it. Never give up. Always try. And I have to say, I love that. Like, this entire season, Karishma has, I mean, in part, she's gotten a shady edit where, oh, Karishma, you can't do anything. And it was one challenge where Jeff is steady yelling at Karishma, oh, you're holding everybody up. There's Karishma at the back of the pack. She can't do it. And she's kind of grown. Like, she's had this underdog edit, and she's rising from the ashes. She found an idol, and we'll talk about her idol later on. But I mean, as far as the season for Karishma, I feel like she's low-key gotten a winner's edit. I mean, hey, please do not at me, but I feel like this is an edit a winner would have gotten, aside from all of the kind of the shady Jeff stuff, like Karishma, you're slowing everybody down. But I feel like she's gotten a lot of camera time. She's gotten a lot of confessionals. She's gotten a lot of tidbits here into the edit. She's been a topic of a lot of discussions. This, that, and the third, so on and so forth. It's Karishma. Every week you hear about Karishma. Every week we want to get out Karishma. And I really feel like if she's able to do it, like I said earlier, she's gonna win this game, and I really hope that she does, because at this point in the game, I don't have many people to root for. It's literally Karishma and Janet, because after last week, I had Jamal as, well, not after last week, but prior the dance situation, I had all of these people that I was feeling and I was liking up until this, and then I saw them in a different light, and then I kind of didn't like them anymore. But as far as Karishma goes, with the way things have been going for her, if she can keep this up, I'm really seeing her in the top Final 5, Final 4, hopefully Final Tribal Council. And now, here's a message from our sponsor. And we are back. And what we'll pick back up is the end of the immunity challenge. And near the end, of course, Karishma dropped out. I said what she talked about. And Elizabeth and Nora are left in the challenge. And I swear to you, near the very end, if you look up above Nora, her ball shakes. And I was like, oh, she's dropping. She's out. 5 to 10 seconds later, Elizabeth drops and Nora wins individual immunity. I was honestly shocked. And the thing was, we go back to camp. We get to talking about the vote and things like that. And these people want to split the vote. And I think it was on Elizabeth and Karishma. And I'm like, why don't y'all just get Elizabeth out? Like, y'all keep talking about how, oh, we can get Karishma out anytime. She's easy to get out. I can beat her. She's easy to get out. So why not just go ahead and gun for Elizabeth and get Elizabeth out? Just go ahead and take her out, get it over with. No, they want to split the vote, so it is what it is. For some reason, Karishma is told to vote for Janet. So I don't know why. I don't know why she was told that. I don't know why she didn't go have a conversation with Janet. Are they not close? Is she not close with Janet? I don't know. I don't know. But then again, who knows anything, because we only see 42 minutes out of hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of footage. So I'll just leave it at that. But next scene, here we go. We're at Tribal. And I'm thinking things are gonna go pretty damn simple. We're going to... Oh! I completely glossed over the fact that Dean made... He made a fake legacy advantage, copied from the fake legacy advantage that he already had and was given to him by Jamal. And he makes a fake one, and he goes and he plays it at tribal. And of course, Jeff is like, no sir, this is not real. Any votes cast towards Dean will still count. And then Jeff is like swiftly about to move into the votes. And Krishna's like, oh no, hold on. This is for me. I'm gonna go ahead and use this and pull this out my trusty spot in my bra. And then Lauren plays the idol she just got because of her little bet, whatever. And I honestly don't know why she played it. She was not in trouble whatsoever, but I understand. Sometimes you feel like that's something you just need to do. I get it. Nothing against her. That's fine. And here come the votes. First vote, Karishma. Does not count. Second vote, Karishma. Does not count. Third vote, and on. 7 votes are for Karishma. Which means like after like the 4th vote for Karishma, I realized that they didn't split the votes. These people are so stupid. All of that chanting, all of that raving about splitting the votes, and they never did. So it's like, what was the point of all the talking about it and then never doing it? Which really shot them in the foot. Because 7 votes are for Karishma. They do not count. There are only 2 votes left. Karishma voted for Janet, and then someone voted for Elizabeth. I'm not sure. Was it Janet that voted for Elizabeth? Or did Janet vote for... See, the thing was, and that's what the part I should have watched, I didn't see who voted for who. But then again, there was a revote. So they would show the revote and not the original vote. So at the end of the day, I still wouldn't be sure who voted for Elizabeth. But there's a revote from there. You can only vote for Janet or Elizabeth. Janet and Elizabeth cannot vote. There are 7 votes in play now. And then from here, Elizabeth becomes the target and Elizabeth is voted out. And the entire time, I still cannot laughing because it is so comical to me. Why didn't you guys split the votes? You would have had her. I mean, not would have had her, but there wouldn't have been a revote. Elizabeth would have went then and there, plain and simple. But the thing was, if the fear was that Karishma had an advantage or Karishma had an idol, you split the votes. I haven't seen every season, but I can't quite recall a time where they're like, we're going to split the votes and the votes were never split. Unless it was a time where it was, okay, we're going to split the votes and the votes were never split because the person that was told we're going to split the votes was voted on and sent out. So I'm not quite sure. I don't know. But I really did enjoy tonight's episode. Everything aside, I'm really hoping that the rest of the season picks up. We're in the final 8, and I really want things to be cutthroat. I want people to lie, cheat, and steal. I want this season to end very high paced. If there's gonna be a GOAT in the final 3, I want the final 3 to be all GOATs. I want it to be a GOAT finale or a Rockstar finale. Can we get a Rockstar finale right now? Nora, Dean, and I was gonna say Elizabeth, but she just went home. Oh shit! But hey, I don't know. I guess someone else will emerge. I just really want Dan to go. Dan should have been gone. I feel like he's holding up other people's spots, and that's another thing. And I will always feel this way about shows when someone says they want to go and clearly does not want to be there, or when someone does something wrong or breaks the rules and shouldn't be there. Those 2 reasons alone make me feel like every episode or elimination point that they stay in after that it's completely unfair, and I feel like it's a stolen opportunity from someone else. Honestly, truly. I mean, hey, that's my personal feelings. Everyone doesn't feel the same way. Some people may, some people may not. I really don't care. I'm just here to say how I feel. But this sets us up for our final 8, and from here, like I said, I want Karishma to win. I would not mind a Janet win. I really don't see Janet winning. I'm sorry, I don't see it. Honestly, out of who's left, if there was to be a winner right now today, I would have to respectfully say Dean or Lauren. I'm forgetting who else is in the game. Dean or Lauren, though. I would want them to win right here, right now. But personal feelings and like just for people to be mad, I would definitely love for Karishma to win the game at this point. But for now, that is it. That is all. As always, I thank you guys so very much for tuning in to Cliftone's Corner. I'm your host, Cliftone. Good night.